give them, or if the management give them the exam, for example, they need to answer. If whatever that it is about interview, they can answer, and those are the things that can be evaluated. Whatever that is in their head, whatever that they feel may not be cannot be evaluated, and there are some possibility that this quality actually not match with the position. That is the reason why some sales force recruitment are failed. Okay. So these are the outline of this chapter. The first one is about decision process for recruiting and selecting salesperson. Second one, responsibility for recruiting and selecting salesperson. Third one is job analysis and determination of the selection criteria. And then recruiting applicants based on internal sources as well as external sources. And also the selection procedures such as application bank, personal interviews, technological psychological test, physical examination, and offer of employment. So this selection of procedures, okay, this what have been said in chapter 7 about measured explicitly. Okay, measured explicitly. Basically, based on these selection procedures, the management will make the selection. However, there are some possibility, even though they go through this selection procedure, still the company hired a wrong salesperson that is not suitable for the job. Okay, decision process for recruiting and selecting salesperson. So these figures actually shows the decision process for recruiting and selecting of salesperson. First one is to establish the policy concerning responsibility for recruiting and selection. So who will participate in the process? Who has the authority to make hiring decision? So the salesperson, sales manager may be one of the person that should be there. But however, normally in terms of the recruitment and selection, it will be based on a committee. So the committee meaning to say that it's not only from sales department alone, but there's some possibility that it come from other department too. Second one is analyze the job and determine the selection criteria, such as to conduct the job analysis, write job description, and develop a statement of job qualification. So even though in as a salesperson, they actually have ranking, that they will have juniors, they will have executives, they will have managers. Or they probably have like supervisory levels such as the account manager and so on before we have the sales manager. So all of these need to be identified based on job analysis, and that job analysis will have the job description. So the responsibility of every person will be based on the job description. And after that, they will develop the statement of job qualification, meaning to say that to perform this job, what kind of job qualification is needed, such as the experience, such as the education level, such as the some personality requirement. Maybe they need to go through certain, they must have certain, what they call, certificate, professional certificate, and so on. And then after that, find and attract pool of applicant. It could be from internal sources, meaning that you employ or upgrade or promote the younger or junior executive or junior salesperson to become the executive and so on. Or it could be the external sources, meaning that you are employing another people from outside to join the company. And last one is to develop and apply selection procedure to evaluate applicants. Ini yang we already mentioned about the measurement we use to select the right person for the job. Okay, second one is responsibility for recruiting and selecting salesperson. Okay, first one is size of sales force and type of selling involved. So this is very important if the company have several type of accounts. Okay, there are certain account that is like or considered as a small account. They probably have medium account, and they probably have the big account. So each of these require different job description. Okay, they require different qualification to perform the job. And sales job is easy. New recruit do not need any special qualification, and turnover rate in sales force are high. This is very difficult because sales job always been considered as easy. And most of the time, majority of the product don't really need a special qualification to do that. Okay, except for certain product and certain services. So in some firm, personal development assists and advise the sales manager. Department meaning the human resource manager. And the firm considers the sales force as a training ground for sales and marketing manager, human resource executive or top level manager participating in recruiting. This is what I meant by committee, meaning to say that whenever the company decide on recruiting new personnel, meaning to say that they will have a committee to handle the recruitment and selection process. Okay, job analysis and determination of selection criteria. So these are the activities and the recruitment of the selection process. It involved three main process, which is conduct, write, and develop. Conduct is to conduct a job analysis to determine what activities, staff responsibility, and environmental influence are involved in the job to be filled. So even though sale personnel is considered as easy job, but again we have learned earlier that certain environment requires certain trait and certain competency, okay, of salesperson, in which that kind of thing need to be explained clearly in the activities, tasks, and responsibility. Okay. Second one, to write the job description in the easy way, easy to understand. And last one, to develop a statement of job qualification and determine and describe the personal trait and ability a person should have to perform the task and responsibility involved in job. So if you look at sales personnel advertisement, normally they will have the job description and also they have the requirement. Let's say we invite candidate with the following or fulfill the following requirement. So those requirement is this one. Okay, a job qualification. But before they have that job qualification, they must have a job description. Okay, who conduct the analysis and prepare the description? It can be sales management, confirm, and then job analyst specialist. Meaning to say that the salesperson cannot be so easygoing, suka-suka hati to come out with any job analysis. They must also rely on job analysis specialists. Okay, this job analysis specialist normally is like a company that is that can handle or to analyze the job. Meaning to say that if we are talking about sales personnel in a particular industry, if this kind of company, it should be like this. If the product is more electrical, it should be like this. It is if it is food product, so the job should be like this. You know, different activity, different industry may have different job analysis. So again, the company need to go back and look again at their business and define what is the best job task, job requirement, and job description for their company. And of course, the personnel department or human resource, normally what they do is that job analysts will focus more on the overall general industry environment. And the personnel department actually will try to match whatever requirement from based on the industry and how they put it in to match it or to blend it with the company, what the company have. Because each company will have their own policies, will have their own rules and regulation. And also it can be from consultant. And normally consultant, we need to pay very high. Okay. But it can be done also. So consultant basically will match all of this, all of the input from sales management, job analyst, and also personnel department, and to come out with the job analysis. It is important that a person collect information about job content from two sources. It can be from current occupant of job or sales manager who supervise the people, not TE, the people in the job. So how they collect the information, current occupant of the job, meaning that the person who are employed now and currently at the position or at the job. So those are the information that they can come up based on job content. Because sometimes briefly, generally, it would be very easy for the management to highlight and to put in. Now, however, sometimes in certain environment, other additional thing need to be added. Okay, for example, salesperson is okay, fine, but you must also know how to drive and you should also have a license for motorbike, for example. And how that happen? Normally, the current occupant can provide those kind of information. And also, say manager who supervise the people in the job also can give some information. So content of job description. This is about writing the job description. You should have the nature of product or service to be sold, type of customer to be called on, a specific task and responsibility, relationship between job occupant and other position within the organization. Meaning that this is about interdepartment communication, interdepartment relationship, mental and physical demand of the job. There are some job classified as highly stressed job and the environmental pressure and constraint that might influence performance of the job. So these are the things that should be highlighted in the job description, especially when we place this job description in the advertisement. Okay, this is a determining job qualification and selection criteria. Normally, it will be based on physical attribute, healthy. Okay, physical attribute mean not to say that you have a very good, it's like bodybuilder. No, we are talking about physical attribute as you should be healthy. But there are certain company may require certain age, may require certain weight, may require certain height. So those are the physical attribute. And also mental abilities, normally it is more to the IQ test. Experience is very straightforward. This is about your employment history and also some personality trait. Also, normally it will come with the test, personality test and IQ test. Sometimes they call it IQ test and EQ test. Okay, these are the method for deciding on the selection criteria. So, firstly, based on the job description itself, so we can decide, based on the job description, we can select the criteria needed to fill in, such as if the job description say it require the salesperson to be mobile, okay, high mobility, meaning to say that the selection criteria, one of it probably the candidate must have the driving license. Okay, evaluate the personal history. Personal history meaning that those are because there are some possibility that our candidate actually having some problem with their uh, previous company. So that can be happen. That's why now sometime when we wanted to employ to get employed, okay, when we submit our employment, the company will do the background check on that particular candidate. And personal history analysis, for example, like, okay, this particular candidate already says that they are good, the CVs look good, but one thing that is tricky, why that this candidate actually keep changing job every 3 months. Those are history analysis. And also conducting exit interview. Conducting exit interview meaning to say that you are trying to find the selection and try to come up with the criteria that make you not accept. It's a bit different, because normally we are talking about attribute that we want to accept. Ah, tapi when we are talking about conducting exit interviews, we are talking about conducting the interview finding correct criteria we do not want to accept. That is exit interview. And compare one group of high performer and one group of low performer, meaning to say that when sometime when you do the selection, you will have what I call the probation period. And during the probation period, actually, the company can identify this particular candidate actually belong to high performance group or low performance group. And after that, they can start to make a comparison for both. Okay, for recruiting applicant, it can be based on internal sources. It can be based on external sources. Okay, now it's Azan. I think I will stop for a while.
Doktor, maaf, mic doktor tak on. Ya.
Okay, now it's on. Can you hear me?
Kan doktor?
Do I need to repeat? Yes, I have to repeat. All right, for internal sources, whoever that come from internal, employed from internal firm is called internal. That those are from outside is considered as external sources. So external sources can be based on 5 main sources. The first one is referral, meaning to say that you just invited people who you know and have a good normally referral, they only refer to the good candidate. Because when we like me last time, when I work in the industry, actually majority of the company knows this salesperson belong to which company. Okay, and there are times also uh, that particular company will come and invite you to join the company. So when last time in 2000, year 2000, yes, year 2000, because at that time I still work in the industry, and the company really hit badly because of the economic situation, because of the masa tu dia panggil apa, ada problem dengan George Soros, they call it, where our Malaysian currency dropped within a night, and it made the majority of the business affected badly. So at that time, I still working with my previous firm, and about 3 months before I leave the firm, actually one company come and visit me, uh, invite me for a coffee, and they actually invited me to join their company. And that company is a multinational company, and it's very big. And then so those are the things that also you can do, or the company can do, especially when they notice a good talent in the industry, because when we are in a certain industry, most of the time people will know you come from which company, and your reputation is there. How good you are in the industry, people already check. They know what you are doing. They know uh, what business you are securing, how much tender you get, how much contract you receive, how good your performance is, how the company treated you. They know everything. Normally, they already have all the background check about you. So it was an honor for me at that time. But also, I was married and I have kids. So when I discussed back with my family don't agree for me to join that company because I need to move to Singapore. And yeah, so those are another way, one of the way the external sources can come from. And in terms of advertisement, you can see a lot of advertisement like in the newspaper and so on. Employment agency, we have lots of employment agency, like Jobstreet also considered as a employment agencies. And also we have the educational institution, for certain what we call position, you can find it from the educational institution. Recently, actually, I had meeting with one academy. They call it Caliph Academy. Caliph Academy actually employed young graduates as what they call, it's not to say the employee, as the trainee, okay, for Islamic financial certification, professional certification. And they normally will get their candidate through universities, macam alumni and so on. And then after that, they will recruit, they will train, and that particular candidate will get the certificate, and they will give a chance either you wanted to go freelance or work with the company. We have that. And also the internet is a lot. It can be through social media. There's a lot. Sometimes you can see, right, in the Facebook or Insta, they also post the position. So those are the one of the external sources to get the people or candidate suitable for the job. And then, okay, last one is the selection procedures. This is how the examination or the measurement been conducted to select the right candidate to fill the job. Okay. One is an application blank. Application blank meaning that they will give you one blank sheet with question and sometimes with the answer, and then after that you fill it like you answering the exam. Okay, you answering exam. So when I wanted to join UUM last time, okay, I already been the employee of UUM, but I will shift like from B group to A group. Okay. Even though I already UUM employee, still I have to go through the application blank. I have to go through the EQ test, the IQ test, and also um, personality check, things like that. And then after that, followed by personal interview. This is normal, where the candidate will be invited to for the interview session. Reference check meaning that we normally when we send our resume or CV, we will have our referee. They will check the referee, and then physical examination. This is also considered as normal. This is the kita panggil apa yang ni? Normally we call it macam apa? Physical screening. Apa? Kalau you nak masuk universiti dia panggil apa ini? Medical checkup. Yes, medical checkup. And also some psychological tests such as intelligence, personality, and aptitude skill. So these are things that can be tested during the selection process. So the purpose of application form is to help manager prepare for personal and help manager to prepare for personal interview with candidate. So this blank application form, it's like when even sometimes we curious, right? We already send our CVs and so on, but why when we come for interview we need to fill in the application form? Okay. So this is the reason why it's help the manager to prepare the personal interviews. And then the personal interview enable manager to gain insight, understanding about applicant mental abilities and personalities. Again, this is about cognitive, this is about affective, and this is about skill. Okay. And there are two types of interview. It can be structured interview and unstructured interview. Structured interview, each applicant is asked the same predetermined question. Unstructured interview, basically they see the applicant talking freely on the variety of subject. So majority of the sale interviews that I went through, normally they go for unstructured interview. Very seldom they have the structured interview. You know, one of the experience that I gained last time in the unstructured interview is that they place all the candidate in one room, and then all the managers, uh, because they have like another room, small room, dia hanya the mirror can only be seen from one side, meaning that if you are in the big room, you cannot see. It's like control. You cannot see people inside the room, but people inside the small room can see what's going on inside the bigger room. So I ever attended one interview that be like that. You know, they actually leave you like 1 hour and they see how you behave in the interview session. During that 1 hour, that 1 hour, silent, you just be among all other candidates. Actually, is the interview by itself. They see how do you behave. Because when we are at the waiting room, most of the time we just keep silent. We don't really communicate well. We don't really show our, jovial personality and so on. But whenever we come to the interview, only we started to like to show the best we can. But actually, this company is smart enough in a way that they put it in this one room. After 1 hour, only 40% of the candidate actually managed to go to the next level for the unstructured interview. 60% of candidate actually bye-bye. They don't even have a chance to go for interview session. So physical examination, it can be based on stamina, it can be based on stress. So this is all the medical checkup that required by the company. Some psychological tests, probably intelligence, personality, attitude, or skill. So these are the thing EQ, IQ, SQ. Okay. Those are things that normally being tested under psychological tests. So these are the test guide. A single input in a selection decision. Sometime, yeah, because if we take multiple input, there are some possibility that the input may have some bias. Okay, it should be tested on only those abilities and traits. It cannot be tested at other traits, at other domain. Okay, and also it has an internal consistency check. Empirical study to ensure the tests are valid and include both high and low performance in the firm. Please add in the firm, in the firm. So these are the test guide. Why they have like a strict guide like this? Simply because to avoid the biasness when the manager making decision of the right candidate to be employed. So that's it for chapter 8. And so basically that is all, and I will stop recording.